Why did I play this song to you at the beginning? And who is this guy? And why should you stop dreaming? So this guy is my dad. What does he have to do with customer experience or dreaming? My dad is one of the pioneers of space science. Do you think he had a dream? Well, I bet you he did. He was developing non-gravity ballistics. Don't ask me what that is. He's obviously far more intelligent than I am, and I probably haven't inherited any of those genes. But the point is that you can't do that job without having a really big dream. But did he dream? No, he actually took a lot of effort to study, to explore, and to do things. So using that analogy, if you and I were to fly to the moon today, what would we do? Would we just cobble together a few things in our backyard and just launch a rocket? Probably not. We will explore gravity, we'll look at the tools, look at the skills, maybe hire some people who know what they're doing. We'll launch a robot to explore moon surface, and only then we might consider flying. But we also could say, no, that's not for us. Our course has now changed, so let's do something else. That's why I'm saying, stop dreaming, start exploring. Very often, I'm asked by my CX clients, do you have some magic? Obviously, they don't phrase this question like this, but they say, all right, we know where we are today. We have suboptimal experiences. We don't know our customer journeys. We don't necessarily understand our customers very well. But can we just speed to a wonderful experience in a matter of seconds? And we probably can't. It's great to have that dream. It's important to have an aspiration, but we need to plan and execute in a non-linear way to get to that aspiration. So what do we do? Many people say, all right, let's launch a huge transformation. That's going to get us there. But it doesn't. 70 to 80% of transformations fail. Transformations fail consistently. Why is that? If you go to your leaders, your CEO, and say, I need 2 million to transform CX, by the way, all of you are going to have to change how you do business, how you take investment decisions, and what you stand for. What do you think would they say? They'd probably say, well, it's a good idea to be customer-centric, and why don't you go and explore that? It's unlikely that you would get any substantial investment or serious buy-in and backup for your ideas. So don't do a big transformation. Take small steps. De-risk that. Look for small projects that are going to prove that you're going in the right direction and you're achieving the results. Only then would you have the right to ask for investment. What many companies are doing is thinking that doing their CX strategy, doing their journeys, learning about best practice, and planning is customer experience. But the customer is left in the middle. They don't see anything happening. It's all internal. You know you're going somewhere, but does a customer see that? They still have suboptimal experiences. They may have told you about things that are not working. Where is my wonderful experience? So, customer experience is the reality of purposeful action, not dreaming. But where do you start? We've established you need to do something. What is that something? What is going to make a difference? I'll tell you another story. This is Michael Kahn. You probably have never heard about Michael Kahn, or some of you may have done. Michael Kahn won more Oscars in the history of film awards than anyone else. Now, you're probably intrigued. How could he have won if no one heard about him? What happens at Oscars is that people watch intently when it's about actors or film directors. But when Michael Kahn comes on stage, they go get their popcorns and have a toilet break because Michael Kahn is an editor. What we don't know, though, is that he's edited all of Steven Spielberg's films, for example. He's edited some of the greatest films in history. So not only has he won Oscar awards himself for film editing, he's also made others win awards. You can easily triple or even quadruple what he's won by enabling others. This is what we should do as customer experience professionals. We should eliminate all of the what's important. We need to identify what is important to customers and focus on that. This will be your first action to execute that will bring you a tangible result that we touched on before and would give you the right to ask for investment, to get the right buy-in, and to demonstrate that you're doing something tangible, real, something that customers, employees, and business appreciate. So, be the editor of your customer experience. Customer experience happens whether you manage it or not. This is something that's just out there. Customers experience your company without you necessarily managing how they do it. Have a think, what are the essential elements of customer experience that you must manage? What's important? You can leave the other things until later. Just make sure that you get basic things right, obviously. You can't deliver horrible experience and just do delight moments every now and then. But where investment is justified is where it's going to be appreciated. If you give me something that I really value, I'm more likely to stay with you, I'm more likely to pay more. And define what are the critical first steps you are able to take as a CX professional and more broadly as a company. So our third theme is nothing happens unless we do something. So now you have your ideal customer experience, your dream. You've stopped dreaming by identifying the important things you're going to do. Now you need to start doing them. Because otherwise, your customers are still sitting in that dark pit of awful experience. What are they going to do? They're going to dig left to your competitors. They're going to dig under, and eventually you'll go down. But to prevent this, you need to give them this little ladder to climb up to the wonderful experience you're building for them. So small steps transform CX for good. This is the secret for a successful transformation. Don't go big. Do small, important, tangible things that are going to be appreciated. I'll give you a small gift. This is part of our Agile CX implementation toolkit. And it's very simple. There are only two core principles. These are visualization and rhythm. Now you might be asking yourself, what does that mean? Visualization means that you need to make it visual, quite literally. So you've identified your important projects. Write them down. Write them down in a way that's very clear and result-oriented. Use action verbs like deliver to make sure that it's driving the right result. Rhythm means that you have to focus on doing these things regularly. So not only you have to define, socialize, visualize your projects, you need to engage your team into an agile way of working to make sure that the execution is regular and enjoyable. And in our Agile implementation toolkit, we have a range of methodologies to help you do that effectively. So my final thought. CX is not about dreaming, or not just about dreaming. It's about taking action. With limited resources, we need to eliminate non-essential action, or be the editor. And executing with agility is key to a successful CX transformation. Thank you very much for listening. It's been my pleasure.